Hey, 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 my friend. Hey, my friend. Welcome. We've got a brand new Sidereal Astrology forecast for you this week, September 19th through the 25th. I am going live here, seeing if this works. This is the first time I'm doing it. So hopefully it works because let me just tell you, my friend, I recorded this twice already. Twice. And the first time I did it, I had trouble uploading it, ended up deleting the video, and so couldn't do it. Uploaded it, re recorded it, uploaded it again, and still you couldn't hear me. So this is my third attempt. I'm going to go live so that I can get it out to you because, my friend, I don't know, this Mercury retrograde. So if you are new year, hey, Danny C. Muniz, your spiritual counselor, guide, designer. I don't know. I'm still figuring out which one I like best. I've been trying a couple of different things recently, but I am here to help guide you to find clarity on your spiritual journey. My favorite thing to do is to help you strip away all the things that no longer serve you. And so we begin by understanding, remembering who we are at the core level through the lens of astrology so that we can then strip away those paradigms, those belief systems, the societal, generational, ancestral that no longer serve you so that you can design a life that truly honors who you are, my friend. That is my dream for this world, is that we all just show up as we are in our best version, in our best self, truly honoring and respecting who we are, my friend. So let's get into this because this sidereal astrology forecast is something I put out every single week. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and share with you what we have going on. Now, every time we do this forecast, we begin with our moon energy. Why do we begin with our moon energy? You might be thinking that is because our moon is our emotional energy. So everybody talks about their sign, but what I want to share with you is your moon, right? Our moon, we know this happens when the full moon is out, the tides, the waves, the people, everything is a little bit different than it normally is, right? We see this in hospitals. We see this in our crime, right? Our police, they can tell us, our law enforcement. So this is why we want to understand where the moon is going to be and how it's going to affect us so that we can empower ourselves, my friend, to work with this energy and not let it rule our world. Okay, so first, we begin on Monday, September 19th. Yes, I know that has passed, but I want to tell you because in case you've been experiencing anything or you're like, why was this happening? This is why. Okay. So, Monday, we kicked off with our moon. Let's go ahead and find our moon here. Our moon here in Gemini. Now, when the moon is in Gemini, this is an air sign. So it's a lot more mental activity. It's also quick things. There isn't a lot of staying power with our air signs. What energy is it's quick. So it's multitasking, it's finishing up short things. It's doing that quick research. It's pulling things quickly together. It is very much a moving energy. So you may find that your mental energy is moving during an air moon. And we had our air moon pretty much all through Monday. When we move on over to Tuesday, our moon moved into the beautiful emotional water energy of Cancer. Now, Cancer is our water energy, as I said, our water moon. And the moon actually rules the sign of Cancer. So the moon was really at home here. And so there could have been more in intuition here. There could have been more insights as far as, following and trusting that gut feeling that you have. This is also really creative energy. So you may have find you're really creative, or you're wanting to create things. This is also very nurturing and supporting energy, specifically around our home and the people in our home, our families. And so there could have been more of a nurturing energy over those few days where we were really wanting to give and support others in this way. Now, when we look at our, that energy, we also can look at maybe we weren't getting the nurturing and support that we wanted. Now, this energy is Tuesday and Wednesday, and a little bit into a Thursday as well. So I want to tell you this because if you are looking to have that nurturing and that support, maybe you're wanting to give it to people, and maybe you're hoping that they're going to give it back to you. Now, my friend, we can hope and dream all day long, but sometimes we need to ask for it. So if you're feeling like you're wanting that extra nurturing and support from others, my friend, ask for it. Ask for it. I know it sounds so simple, but truly, truly ask for it. If you want your person, your partner, your friend to just sit with you for a minute and hear you out, ask them. Ask them. Don't make assumptions, my friend. Okay. So that is our energy. Now, this is a really good time for my entrepreneur friends to create. Really good time to create. Really good time to write that emotional content for your marketing, right? Whether that's your emails, whether that's your post, whether that's you're putting something out there for your people to see, right? Those reels, those videos, it's got to have that emotional component because we are in tuned with that. Plus, it's a good energy because you're in tuned with that. It's really a lot easier for those of you that struggle with emotions, right? You struggle with processing emotions, you struggle with being emotional. It's like that icky stuff. I had a coworker in my corporate days, and he did not like emotional stuff at all. It was like, ew, like it was like icky to him, right? And so if you're one of those people, definitely see that more in our air and our air moons and our fire moons. If that's like a little icky for you, these days may be a little bit difficult for you, but you can also use these days to get in tune with your emotions. My love is an air moon. He's an Aquarius moon. And so the emotions can get a little icky for him during these days, right? And so, but if he's trying to connect into that and to connect into his emotions, because emotions are what drive us, right? He can use this time of the month when the moon is in a water sign to connect with that. Okay. Now we move on to our Friday. And Friday, we move into Leo. Our moon is here in Leo. Now, Leo is a fire sign. Leo is our very jubilant sign. It's very joyful. It's also very big and very grand energy. So you may find that you're wanting to be a little bit more big and grand. Now, I also want you to keep in mind here, normally, I would say, again, depending on where the moon is, and this is why I love doing these sidereal astrological forecasts. My words, my tongue, my brain, they are not all working together yet this morning. They are right now, right? I normally would say in a different time of the month, this energy would be different. But because we look at our lunar cycle and we are at the end of our lunar cycle, we actually have our new moon on this Sunday, September 25th. So because we're at the end of this lunar cycle, the energy is a lot lower, right? This is why we can't just say X, Y, and Z. We really have to look at what is actually going on right now and how things are being influenced. Now, because we are at the lower point of this energy isn't as grand as it normally is. You may find that, yes, you're wanting, to take action on something. Yes, you're wanting to be visible or to create in some way. And there's this very joyful energy to you, but it is not as big and grand as it may be during a full moon, right? In the new moon arena, right, so to speak, in this time frame, it's a little bit more subdued. So if you're feeling a little bit more like, I just want to kind of chill, kind of want to stay home, but do that in a big and grand way, maybe instead of going out and having this big grand experience, you're wanting to stay home and make it big and grand, right? Or maybe instead of going out and creating, right, and with other people, you're wanting to maybe just do it with you, do it by yourself, right, and stay home and do your own big and grand way and your own creative energy. So I want you to also keep that in mind, because oftentimes with the Leo energy, it's like, whoosh, I want to go and I want to go do and I want to go be. But because we are in this portion of the lunar cycle, it may be a little bit more subdued. All right. So then we have that energy on Friday and Saturday. And then moving into Sunday, you can see our moon meets over here with these guys and it comes into Virgo. So a couple of things I want to say about this is our Virgo energy is an earth energy. So it is more grounded. It is where we feel more. We tune into our senses more in earth energy. There's more of a staying power here, where with Leo, it's just like it's more jubilant and joyful. Virgo kind of like, okay, let's get to work. Let's get to work. So you may feel this shift, right? Maybe on Saturday, it's like, I just want to have fun. I just want to create. I just want to like just be in this energy. And then on Sunday, there's that feeling of like, ooh, maybe I should wash my laundry. Maybe I need to clean the house, right? Maybe I need to pay the bills, take out the trash. Like it's more of like, let me get things in order, right? That's definitely, so that's how we're going to end this week. Plus Sunday is our new moon in Virgo. So a couple of things I want to talk about before we get into that is let's go ahead. Oops, I went the other way. Let's go ahead and go back to our Friday here. So you can see here on our screen, we have our moon here in Leo, right? And it's getting close to these three guys right here. Now, these three are Venus, Mercury, and our sun. Now, Venus is at 29 degrees Leo. So Leo, right? Our Venus in Leo has been so much fun, been so playful, but Venus is actually going to be moving into Virgo. And we can see that happening right here. Venus moves into Virgo on Saturday. So that energy is going to shift, as well as our moon is getting really close to our Venus. So these energies, they're about 7 degrees apart here at this time, which is Saturday, 11:59 a.m. Here in Austin, Texas. So there's, it's getting closer. Later on in the day, the moon will be conjunct, which is they're right next to each other. As you can see here, they're really, really close. They're kind of hanging out together. And then it'll cross over and it will hit Mercury and our sun over that day. I can even actually, let's show you that. You can see it gets closer, closer, closer. And this is by hour. So you can see it's moving because everything's moving in our sky. Nothing is static. You'll see it keeps moving, and then bam, they're both at 0 degrees. And so this is very, very early Sunday morning. It crosses over, and then you'll see here, the moon crossed over Venus. So these guys, and it's getting close to Mercury. So these energies are going to be influencing each other over the next few days. And so this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm telling you this because when our moon is conjunct Venus, and especially it's going to be in Leo, and then it's going to shift right into Virgo, there is a lot of caring, a lot of loving. This is more sensual energy, right? It's moving from that playful, caring, loving energy into more sensual energy. So you may be feeling like you want to, do some things, right? And so that is, I want to tell you this because for those of you that are with, that have partners or with people, like, that you're in these relationships, right? You may be feeling a call for that extra nurturing, that extra support, that extra connection with your person. For those of you that are single, you might be seeking that out, right? And so I'm going to say this because you may be seeking out something from somebody who you shouldn't be seeking it out from. Get what I mean? Right. You want to make sure that I just want to tell you this, because if those desires, right, and especially there's a couple of other things that we have going on here. We have this opposition with our Jupiter and Neptune, which can cause some confusion, can definitely cause some confusion in a big way. So we want to be careful with that, that maybe you want to text that person. I'm just going to caution you. Okay. I'm just going to caution you here. Just want to give you that heads up because I want to empower you. All right. So this energy is moving through here. So let's talk a little bit about Venus moving into Virgo, and then we'll talk about our new moon. So when Venus moves into Virgo, things are more practical, more grounded. They have a more staying power when it comes to the things that Venus rules, which is love, which is beauty, which is love. Right? So when we're looking at this Venus energy, it becomes more practical. It becomes more grounded. It's got to make sense. So if we are going to, connect with somebody, if we are going to, if we're dating, right? If it's got to make sense. Like that person's got to be practical. It's got to make sense, right? It's got to be, is this real, right? You're not being confused by an illusion here. With Virgo, it's like, it just needs to make sense. And so the other flip side, for those of you that may be in a relationship or a partnership of some sort, you may be looking at things like, does this make sense for us? Are we, is this practical for us? And there could be this, coming together or not, for that matter. Maybe things have been off and it's like, yeah, this isn't practical. This isn't getting us anywhere, right? This doesn't have that staying power. There could be that. And there also could be maybe, how do we get that, right? How do we bring that back? How do we get our things in order? We could also find here, and I know money is such a big topic in relationships, but we could also find here that things are we're trying to get our bills in order. We're trying to get our money in order and our money working for us. And that could create some conflict, right? That could create some tension. I know growing up, that was a huge, huge thing in my home. My parents always argued and fought about money, right? They're just such a big thing. And so when Venus is in Virgo, that could definitely come up, right? We may have been spending extravagantly during Leo season, right? Just spending and spending and spending. Think about it. It was summer. It's the time of like vacations and parties and going out and having fun, right? And now we're moving into, actually, as of today, I'm recording this here, we're moving into fall, right? We're at autumn equinox here. And so we're in that transition into a new season. And so Virgo being right here, it's like, okay, let's bring things back. Let's see, okay, we've had some fun. Now let's get practical about this. What are we doing? Where are we going? And so everything needs to have a purpose. It needs to make sense, right? A decision to buy something. If we're looking for entertainment or enjoyment during this next season, it's got to make sense. So for my entrepreneur friends, listen up here. If you are selling something, it has got to make sense for them. It has got to be practical for them. So you're selling, the way you're selling it is the practicality of it that it's going to give them. Those are the things you want to focus on. All right. The other flip side of this is Virgo can be a bit critical. It can be picky. It can nitpick things, right? Because it is so good at seeing the detail. It is such a detail sign that it can go in and it knows exactly how to fix things. It knows how to structure things, knows how to create a system for things. It's so good at doing that it can see when things are off. And so we, even though we may not be a Virgo, we still have this energy and we're going to be in this energy So we can see those things a little bit more. Now, this can help us in many ways because we can see the things that are maybe aren't quite making sense. But on the flip side, it can also cause us some frustration because maybe we don't like what we're seeing, or maybe with our partnerships, right? Maybe that's not what we want to see. So, just some things for you to consider and to think about, and how to use this energy as we move forward. Okay, so let's talk about our new moon. Our new moon does take place at 4:54 p.m. Central on let's see, Sunday here. So I'm going to pull up 4:54 p.m. for us. And we will see here that our sun and our moon are both at 8 degrees in Virgo. And so we have a couple of different things happening here. So not only are we looking at this energy in Virgo, which is kind of a lot of what I just explained, right? A lot of that practicality, that analysis, but also that creating a system and a structure, looking at the details of things, making sure it's more grounded. That's the energy of the new moon. However, we can't just look at that, right? We can't just look at those memes and say, oh, the new moon's in Virgo. Virgo's about this energy. Okay, so this is what the new moon is about. We want to look deeper. And so this is why we want to talk about it. What we see here is we see the sun and the moon, right? They're together, but we also see these other two guys who we've been talking about, right? Mercury and Venus. Now, Mercury is retrograde, and Mercury has been retrograde for a bit now, for about a week, maybe a little bit more. And it's going to be retrograde for a couple more weeks, right? And so this retrograde being in a Virgo, this is, again, this energy is still amplified, as well as Venus, but they're influencing each other. Whenever a planet is near each other, they're influencing each other. And so Mercury being here is bringing out, right, that communication. So there could be, right, if you've been having trouble with, electronics and communication, some mishaps, definitely I have. This is one of the main reasons, is because there is a system and there's a structure and there's a process, right, with how our communication it gets out there. And so this is messing things up a little bit. Now, we also have Venus here. Venus is, again, our beauty, our love, our relationships, our money. And so this is also influencing this energy. So this tells me right here, when I'm looking at this, is how are we working in our relationships, and how are we working in our money? On the day-to-day basis, how are those things nourishing us? How are those things keeping like supporting us, right? Do we have a good relationship just within our relationships? Do we have a good relationship with money? Do we have a good relationship with what we consider beautiful within ourselves and within the world? Do we have a good relationship with this? How are we communicating about this or with this? So, last night we kicked off our Honor Your Virgo Energy. If you've not heard about that, this is my new series that I'm doing every single month, where we're working with a particular zodiac sign, depending on where our sun is in the sky. And so right now our sun is in Virgo, right? As we can see. And so we're working with our Virgo energy and really peeling back a lot of the things that are not serving us. And so one of the things that we talked about last night was perfectionism, because Virgo loves to perfect things. So this new moon energy, you may find that you're wanting to perfect things. You're wanting to, like, over this next lunar cycle, there could be a perfecting of something that you are wanting to do. Now, finding a way, right, being able to perfect something or to come to perfection for something is a good thing. Now, as I talked about last night in class, as long as that is not stopping you from your creating your dreams, from pursuing your dreams, then that is fine. If it is, however, then that's where we need to do some work, right? That's where we need to figure out, what is it about this perfectionism, right? Am I going to constantly say in perfectionism? Because if I constantly say in perfectionism, it's never going to get done. Right? You've heard the phrase, done is better than perfect. And that, for Virgos, that can be really hard. And so in this Virgo energy, it could be really hard. For example, I didn't want to do this live. I was like, no, I don't want to do this live. I don't know how to use YouTube live. Like, I've never done it. I'm just going to go record it on Zoom and then do it. And I even literally started to go through the process of doing it on YouTube Live because I just wanted to do it and get it out because I know it's later than I wanted. And I've had some trouble with it. And then I was like, no, I don't want to do that because I want it to be good. I want it to be good. And so then I even literally like closed it all out, went into Zoom to record it. And then I saw, obviously, they have an option for you to do it live on YouTube. And I was like, all right, Danny, this is it. Just do it because done is better than perfect. This is why I don't edit these videos because done is better than perfect. Would I love to have these edited? Would I love to like not have all this side dialogue and me coughing or me taking a sip of water? Would I love to have those edited out? Absolutely. However, I'd rather have it done, right? And not have it out, right? Because I want you guys to have this information. So a couple of other things I want to look at is I kind of mentioned already, but we've got these oppositions down here. So these planets over here are in opposition to these planets here. Specifically, we are looking at these two, which is Neptune and Jupiter. So with Neptune, our emotional sensitivity is at a level where there could be misunderstandings. Okay. So there could be confusion about what people are saying, how you feel about people, how you feel about yourself, just feelings in general. There could be some negative influences here. So be careful with your intuition, any psychic impressions, because they may not be as clear as they normally are. So I just want you to be careful of that. There could also be some over idealizing someone or something, kind of like it's like the rose. I often say this with Neptune, it's the rose colored glasses. We're wearing the rose colored glasses. We see the good, which I'm so optimistic. Always see the good. And sometimes I will miss the red flags that are being shown to me. Now, this energy is definitely that way. So if you're somebody who often seeing the good and misses those little red flags, this could be amplified for you. So be careful. With Jupiter, there's a little bit of a lack of self-control here. There's a more indulging here, more wanting attention, right? And so I want you to note that because you may be feeling that. And if you're feeling that, there could be the actions that we do that are not of the best, right? We're wanting to get attention from somebody. And so there's a little bit more of a desperation to that energy and not a grounded, empowered energy, right? So I want you to be mindful of that because that could also be coming up. The other thing is there could be some being a little bit more over like generous with the things that you're giving or doing. Now, as long as that is not putting you in a bad place, we're good, right? We're fine. But you could be over people pleasing, overdoing it. And I want you to just look at that behavior as well. There's a lot of really, really good opportunities here for us to grow with this new moon, which I'm absolutely excited about. All right. Again, some mental confusion, be careful with that. Things that are dreamy and imaginative are actually really good to do with this new moon energy. And so I would say, even over this weekend, if you want to watch a movie, get lost in a book, like those are really good things to do. Don't put too much weight on the dreams that you're getting during this time because they may be kind of funky and the messages are a little confusing or maybe not quite clear. You also may be finding you're skipping over the details here. Just be careful of that too. You might be skipping over the details because we've got this influence with Neptune and Mercury. Definitely can skip over the details, kind of gloss over and miss something. I've already seen it in text from people that I've been in group texts with where I'm like, oh, I don't think you quite read that text because if you would have read it, I don't think your response would have been what it was, right? So there's these little things that we may be missing. All right, my friend. So a couple of things that I do want to share with you before we wrap up for today. This has been your Sidereal Astrology forecast for September 19th through the 25th. As I mentioned, we kicked off our Honor Your Virgo Energy series last night. It is a 4-part series. Let me tell you a little bit about this in case you are curious. So this was created for those of you that enjoy learning about astrology and how to use it for your personal growth, how to use it in your day to day, how to understand, you know, if you've had a natal chart done and you're like, I had a natal chart reading done and I kind of remember some of the things. This is where we actually peel every single month one of the zodiac signs and kind of peel it back and really take a look at it and clear away. As I've said, this is one of my favorite things to do. This is why I created this, is helping people peel back the layers. This is how I use every single sun season for my own personal development, right? So right now I'm looking at perfectionism. I'm looking at how I could be overcritical or controlling of things. I'm looking at my daily routine, right? We just shifted literally from the summer season into the fall season, right? Autumn equinox today, September 22nd. And so this is where our days, right? It's like half and half. It's equal, right? So there's half the day of light and half the day of dark. And so before we had numerous hours of light and very little hours of day and little hours of night. And so because of that, maybe we were out more, right? Maybe we were doing things longer into the day, where now it's shifting. And so our energy, our routines are shifting. And so Virgo energy can really help us look at what is going to nourish us. And specifically in this class, we're looking at nourishing you. We're not talking about the self-care that is, put out there for everyone. Go get a massage. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a good massage, but that is not my ideal self-care day. For some of us, yes, that is their ideal self-care day. For me, that's not. And so yours could be taking a class, and that is actually filling your cup. My love, for example, his way of filling his cup is actually doing that, is actually taking a class, reading a book, learning something. He loves that. And so when he's able to do that, or even be creative and inventive, he's an Aquarius moon. So that inventive energy, when he's doing that, man, that's like self-care for him. So in this Honor Your Virgo season, we are looking at what actually nourishes us and creating rituals, routines that serve that and that are really going to help us in this new season of our life. So I'm excited because it's 4 weeks long. There's great women in there right now. We are learning and growing and supporting each other here. It's absolutely amazing. You also get a couple bonuses with it. You'll get a transit reading from me about what this Virgo season has in store for you. So it's personalized directly for you. You'll also get our new moon intention setting class, which is this Sunday, included with that. So you can set some really powerful intentions with this new moon energy. We're going to talk more in detail about this new moon energy and how you can best use it where you are in your life right now. And then finally, there's going to be a heart chakra balancing as a bonus that you will get with this as well. So the link to join that class, you can still join. You get all the replays. Classes are Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central. So you'll get all the replays for that, and you'll have them until the end of October to watch. So even if you're not able to make the classes live, I highly recommend signing up and watching the replays. All right, my friend, that is it for us today. Everything is down below in the description box. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And as always, remember, close your eyes and take a deep breath with me. And find peace.